Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, or maybe it's not evening when you're watching this, but
I don't know.
good time of day wherever you are.
There we go.
AJ, let's do it.
Allied Rivals.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a minute.
Yeah.
It's been almost 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But me and AJ are back here, and we are ready to talk about the play-in tournament for the
Yes,
NBA
sir.
basketball, the National Basketball Association. The Nets have just beat the Cavaliers,
Yep.
which 8 beating the 7, I believe.
Nets are
Or
going to be the
7 being 8.
play the
7 being-
Celtics.
Right.
Yep.
So Nets are going to go play the Celtics in Boston.
Yep.
But AJ, how about we give a little preview
Let's do
of
it.
the other games?
Let's
But
do
first,
it.
It's been a minute, AJ. So how you doing?
Doing okay. Doing good. It's been a weird start to the month. My entire work schedule got not entire, but like different days and times got shifted around. So now I'm like earlier on some days and later on others. So going back and forth. It's been a busy couple weeks, but it's getting to that time of year, getting towards May, getting towards the end of the school year and all that. But at the same time, sports is probably is like just completely ramping up. We got the NBA playoffs coming in. March Madness just wrapped up. And then on top of that, we actually have baseball for what didn't seem like it may not happen at first is finally coming back. So I'm excited. I'm excited. How are you doing, man?
Doing good. I actually went to a Bucks game.
So I heard.
I think it was April 3rd against the Mavericks.
Nice.
It was a loss. I was bummed
Yeah.
about that. I think we lost 118 to 112.
It was a close game, yeah.
But it was still fun. It was a blast.
Yeah.
It was super cool.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I've been doing good. And I think it's time to talk about some play-in tournament, AJ. What do you think?
Let's do it, man. Let's do it.
Alrighty. Well, Lightning Bauer is here with us. Good evening, Lightning Bauer. Hope you're doing well.
Hello, sir.
And, well, AJ, let's just recap on what happened with the Nets versus Cavs. I don't think either of us watched it.
I saw some of it. I was able to snag a little bit of it, yeah.
Well, it looks like Kyrie was pretty efficient tonight. He had 34 points, going 12 for 15. And
what else does Kyrie do except be efficient?
His only misses were from the 3-point line, and he was 3 for 6 there. So with the 12 assists, he got a nice double-double. That's a solid win. And KD had, just kind of almost an average game for him. 25 points and then 11 assists.
Yeah.
He had a big defensive night tonight, actually, with 2 steals and 3 blocks.
Mm-hmm.
And the Cavs it wasn't a blowout by any means.
Yeah, no.
I don't think they were ready for it.
They got down early in the first quarter, got their score doubled. They were down 40 to 20. And look, everybody knows the Cavs aren't at full strength at all.
Nope.
Like, they don't have Jarrett Allen, who is such a huge part of their team. They haven't had Colin Sexton for months at this point. So, Jarrett Allen, that's like the one advantage that the Cavs would have over the Nets is size. Because having Jarrett Allen and Evan Mobley both either on the court at the same time or switching them off, depending on who's rotating in and out, no other Nets are grabbing any of those boards. I don't care what 2K says Andre Drummond's rating is for rebounding, right? He's great, but when you're going up against, arguably the rookie of the year and all-star Jarrett Allen, you're going to get outboarded. So it's a little unfortunate for the Cavs that Allen wasn't able to play tonight because that could have gotten him a win.
Yeah, for sure. But let's talk about some games that haven't happened yet. And AJ, so it's truly a preview. Let's do the Clippers at Timberwolves because that's about to start in like a couple minutes. So let's do that. So let me pull this up here real quick.
Go ahead.
Right, so the Clippers are number 8 going to the number 7 seeded Timberwolves.
Mm-hmm.
AJ, you got any first thoughts on this when you're looking at what we got here?
Dude, Paul George being back is such a big thing for this Clippers team. And I hear a lot of people are calling Ty Lue for coach of the year. And I get it.
Mm,
He lost their two main stars. Kawhi hasn't played the entire year. Paul George missed half the year. And they clawed their way to an 8 seed. It's
yeah.
crazy how hard that they've worked to even be here. And now Paul George is back right when they needed him the most. This is a team that they've rolled off 5 straight. And granted, the game against the Thunder doesn't really count because everybody was sitting. The Thunder were running like a 5-man rotation or whatever. But this is a team that beat the Suns by 4, and then just 2 weeks ago, just put up 153 on the Bucks
Mhm.
without Paul George that game.
Well, to be fair, we had our top 8 out, but yeah, go
Sure.
ahead.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But like they're hitting, they're getting wins at the right time is the important thing. They're winning games down the road, and the win against the Suns is absolutely crazy, even though the Suns had already clinched. And meanwhile, the T-Wolves are kind of just saying, "Yeah, this is how we rebuild. We got Ant, we got Cat. We're gonna score. We're gonna cut to the rim." I'm surprised. The West actually was really surprising with how 7 and 8 seed worked out, because for a while it looked like it was just going to be like Denver up was going to have 40 plus and everybody else is going to be fighting it out. But no, Minnesota somehow finished with 46 wins. Crazy.
Yep. Yeah, well, when I look at this matchup, I kind of think Clippers are maybe more well-rounded and they have the better bench. I think last year they probably had the best bench in the league, and they don't have that
Yeah.
anymore. But it's still solid, and I think
It's really good.
The Timberwolves, this is kind of what you're getting coming out of the rebuild, and it's going to be all on your starters.
Yeah.
Ant-Man, Cat, it's going to be all starters, because I don't think they're going to be able to rely on their bench the way the Clippers will be able to.
That's fair. Clippers had, especially with those trades they made at the deadline, that's really going to bolster their offense, especially coming off the bench when PG ain't ready.
Yeah, and how's Kawhi Leonard doing?
Dude, the fact that he could be back is insane.
Do you think it's going to have an effect on their play?
Yeah. If you know your star player is coming back, you're like, we ain't losing this game. We're not taking a chance of having to play the Spurs or Pels, which I think they would win either one of those. But I wouldn't be taking no chances trying to face any of them. I'm like, look, we can get Kawhi back in a week to go face the Grizzlies, and we need him. Oh my goodness. I'd be playing my heart out for the hopes that Kawhi's coming back. He's playing 3-on-3 now. He's playing 3-on-3 in practice. It's crazy.
Do you think he's going to be like, when he plays, hopefully he plays, do you think he's going to look good? Like, I mean, Kawhi's had injuries before, and it seems like he usually can bounce back. I mean, this is ACL, right? So it's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, I mean, it's been 2 years, so he's not going to be at 100%. I think if he comes back, he's not going to be full Kawhi that we've ever seen before. I think defensively he might take a step back a little bit, but man can shoot. Kawhi is lethal from the mid. He's lethal on the block as well. And he's just a guy who plays good fundamental basketball and hits shots. He's not exactly going to like drop threes over you or anything. He may be a little less physical by the time he gets to the rim, but this is still a top player in the NBA right now. I mean, he got named to the 75 list of all time. I'd be stupid to count him out, no matter whether he's at 100% or not.
Yep, for sure. Well, AJ, we've talked about, we've kind of broken it down a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's give our predictions. AJ, you want to go first?
I think the Clips take it. Look, I love the T-Wolves. I love Ant-Man. Georgia boy right here. I love the Timberwolves, man. But I think I'm going to give it to the Clippers. They're heating up at the right time with a chance of Kawhi coming back. I think is going to be really big for him as well. And then on top of that, like you said, their bench is really deep. Having Norman Powell being able to drop 20 on any other night where you need him to, they're still really good on defense. I'm going to go with the Clippers.
Yep. I'm also going with the Clippers, and big reason, the bench that the Timberwolves just don't have, because they're kind of rebuilding, and this is a pretty young team. Clippers, dude, Paul George is probably going to play very well. He usually does. But an X factor I'm looking at, if he gets some time, is Robert Covington. I mean, every game I've seen him get minutes, he takes the opportunity, and it's not always scoring, but I feel like he affects the game in so many different ways. I think he's a big X factor in that one.
That's fair.
So I think it would be really smart for the Clippers to play Covington. I don't know if they will for sure because I believe the last time they did was against the Bucks, or
I'm not
maybe it was
sure.
against the Suns. But
He was in against the Thunder and Kings. Yeah, he's been playing the rest of the year.
Yeah. Well, I'm just hoping they put him in because I think he's a big part in that team, and I'm picking the Clippers on that one.
Yeah.
All right, we both pick Clippers. Let's move on to how about the New Orleans Pelicans?
Stinking Pelicans, man.
Oh, the good old
Which I don't
Spurs.
want to say it like that.
Dude, no, but I'm really actually excited about this because this means LeBron is not in the playoffs.
Yeah, that's nuts. That
Frank
they
Vogel
there.
is gone.
We may have to do an episode on the
We're
teams
gonna have
that
to
missed.
do one. Just yeah. All right. Pelicans. That's a shocking one because who knew that a 36-win team could have a chance to make the playoffs?
We did when we decided to make the play-in tournament for Eastern Conference teams that had one game. Anyway, not this year. Eastern Conference is good this year, but y'all know what I'm talking about.
Yep. Well, AJ, these are two teams that should not even be here. I don't like the play-in tournament. I think I've said this on camera before.
Yeah.
But it's here, and I think we need to talk about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. Do you want to talk first?
I feel like we can go really fast. I'm picking the Spurs. I don't even know why. Is there even a reason they have an all-star, DeJounte Murray?
Dude, DeJounte. Hold up. My man's dissing the Popovich-led Spurs over here. Like they ain't got DeJounte, 3-and-D, Devin Vassell, Keldon Johnson. Keldon Johnson showed up this year. Thank you.
All right, bro. I'm just saying this is not an exciting matchup. I feel like, I mean, this is not even going to be close to the views that even the Nets Cavs just got. I mean,
sure.
This is just sad. No NBA fan. I mean, unless you're a Pelicans or Spurs fan, is watching this game. No one cares unless you get paid to.
Like, I mean, I'd watch. I'll watch it. Why not?
Of course, I'm picking the Spurs. They have DeJounte Murray. The Pelicans are hopeless.
Oh man. I think if Brandon Ingram plays, I give it to the Pels. He's probable. Play, right? He's probable. It's not 100%. They've held him out the last 3 games, which makes sense. You don't want your star going up against Warriors and Grizzlies right before the playoffs. And CJ McCollum has been so huge. He has been so huge for the Pelicans. And I know that they're coming off a really tough road trip. I think they ended like 5 out of their last 7 games were on the road, 4 of them in a row or something like that. So being able to get this game back at home instead of having to play in San Antonio, if Brandon Ingram is going to play and he's 100% and ready to go, I think I'm going to give this one to the Pelicans. If Ingram's not ready, it's going to be a shootout, but then I'm going to give it to DeJounte and San Antonio to go fight it out with the Timberwolves is what we said. Yeah.
All right. I go Spurs, he goes Pels. Let's keep it moving through here. It's the Hawks and the Hornets.
Ooh, yes, sir. I
feel like this is a good one.
This is the most fun one. Like Cavs Nets is a good game, but Hornets is just fun.
This is LaMelo Ball and Trae Young just showing off and having a good time.
Oh yeah.
Don't underestimate the Hawks. I feel like they don't look that much different than last year. I feel like
whoa. Okay, hold on a second. Cayman says 9th seed Atlanta Hawks don't look much different than Eastern Conference champion Hawks. I mean, sorry, not champion, but Eastern Conference participant Hawks. Do you think they look the exact same?
They're not that different. Like, I feel like they'll turn it on in the playoffs.
Dang.
Which, yes, they are going to make the playoffs because they're going to beat the Hornets. They're going to beat LaMelo Ball. And LaMelo Ball is going to say bye-bye.
Okay. Yes. You got a reason behind that?
All right. Look, I've seen the Hawks play.
Sure.
More than most teams in the East. John Collins is crazy. But I feel like the connection between Trae Young and Clint Capella has only gotten better. And I think Clint's healthy, right? I'm pretty
He
sure.
should be good to go.
Yeah. So those are my big three. I mean, they have other guys. Kevin Herter. He can do what he needs to in big moments.
Mhm.
But my big three that I'm looking at are Trae Young, Clint Capella, and John Collins. And that's Trae Young. Don't estimate the small man. And then John Collins is a scary dude. I mean, he was making me nervous in the Eastern Conference Finals. Like he was doing some crazy things. I mean, he's getting oops from Trae Young that the kind that Giannis gets, like from Drew Holiday. So I'm not underestimating the Hawks here. I think they're going to beat the Hornets.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know, because the other thing is John Collins isn't healthy. He's questionable.
He is playing, I think.
He's questionable for Wednesday night. Was his status this afternoon? We're not sure.
He'll play. Oh, believe me, he will play. Gordon Hayward's out.
He's always anyway. Look, this is a game between two facilitators who can just score at will, between Trae and LaMelo. Trae has been hard carrying the Hawks. Let me make that clear. He's been carrying the Hawks to the playoffs on his back this entire year. There's a reason halfway through the year he was leading in points created between points and assists and wasn't even close. Everybody else is way behind. This is a guy who drops 28 on the regular every single night. John Collins, as good of a player as he is, has not been the same this year. He's averaging 16 and 7, I think, this year, which ain't bad. Don't get me wrong, but I disagree. This is not the same Hawks team that made a run last year. This is a Hawks team that has barely gotten in to the play-in, needed a last-second push to be able to make it, and they're going up against a Hornets team where Miles Bridges can drop 20 almost every single night. And I want to go with the Atlanta Hawks personally, but I kind of get the feeling that the Hornets are going to give them a real hard time. I know that that they don't have the height. They don't have the size at all to combat with the Hawks. I'm going to go Atlanta, but it's going to be close. Charlotte is a team that's fun to watch. They can score out the window. They just beat the Bulls a while back, and we got embarrassed by them. So, I just got to watch how good they are. But I'm going to go that Trae pulls it out with a nice dagger right at the end. 40 points and assists per game almost is just absolutely insane. So I'm going to give it to them. But it's going to be close. It's a top-heavy Hawks team against a well-oiled Hornets team.
AJ, would you believe that the Hawks have more wins this year than last year?
I would believe it. If somebody told me.
I don't see that big of a difference in the Hawks. Sure. I just see a bigger difference in the East.
Sure, that's fair.
The East is stacked, and then it drops off after the play-in.
For sure, yeah. But counterpoint,
come on, man.
The Hawks heated up at the exact right time. Their the first half of the year, they were bad. Second half of the year, they were nuts. They rolled their way into the playoffs. They are 26-26 in conference play, meaning a lot of those dubs are coming from a Western Conference, which is weaker than the East for the first time in years. They're not great on the road. They've ended the year with a 7-3 run for sure, but I just don't have. This is a completely different team, especially because the Hawks last year just had everything click at the right time. Cam Reddish wasn't gone as well. John Collins was borderline all-star last year.
Yeah,
it's not the same team.
All right.
It's not the same team.
Well, maybe he'll turn on his borderline all-star in the playoffs.
It would be the right time.
I want to see, but man, I think so. So here's the thing. AJ, do we want to? So let me just explain this for all the viewers.
Go ahead, yeah, because this is real fun.
If you lose as a 9 or 10 seed, you're done.
You're out.
Right? If you win, you're still not necessarily in, but you get to play the loser of 7 and 8. Mm-hmm. So the winner of 7 and 8 goes to play
the 2 seed.
The 2 seed.
So Memphis and Boston.
Either the Celtics or the Grizzlies, right? And the loser plays the winner of the 9 and 10. So
yeah,
it is 4 times harder for the 9 or 10 seed to get in than the 7 or 8, which is why I think this play-in tournament is ridiculous and has no points.
Yeah, I mean, I understand why they did it for sure, because tanking was such a problem in the NBA, and now teams actually have a chance. If you're sitting at like an 8 seed or whatever, you think, oh, or a 9 seed's like, oh, I can actually win a couple games and get a decent game or something near the end of the year. To me, it's about rewarding the teams that actually played the entire season well.
Facts.
And I get it. I get it. Top 6 is a great incentive. Top 6 guaranteed to go. That's big. I'm not gonna lie. That is definitely that I get it. Getting top 6 is so much more important now if you're on a fringe 7 or 8, instead of going, oh snap, my entire season is coming down to one game, or I could just be guaranteed to get in. I totally get the incentive to put a top 6 qualify and the rest go down. But to have an 82 game season, and especially in the case of the Western Conference, if we look at this, that the Minnesota Timberwolves, who've won 12 more games, and the San Antonio Spurs could not make the playoffs, that's kind of messed up. That's kind of messed up.
Mm-hmm. Well, Lightning Bauer changes the subject. Nice hat. I appreciate that, Lightning Bauer. I kind of like this hat. Actually,
Just kind of.
it was given to our family for free. We got
Ooh.
4 of them.
Nice.
I think at the Bucks game, not the Bucks game I was at, but a different one that my family was at.
Yeah.
They were giving out free hats at the end, I guess, because I think it was the last
Dang.
home game.
Okay.
I think that's why. I think it was
Okay.
like an appreciation night or something. So
Nice.
yeah, I'm rocking the hat right now.
All right.
And I'm hoping that I'll be able to get a 21-22 NBA Champions
Let's
hat.
see.
That would be quite nice.
Yeah. But we're
But
going to break
AJ
all that down. We're going to break all that down for all y'all later.
Believe me, we will. But AJ, is there anything else before we wrap this up?
Sorry, it's been a while to everybody out there. We've both been busy with a whole bunch of stuff, but we're back. We're going to do the same thing that we did for the NFL. We broke down each game. We're going to break down each round for you. I think rumor has it we should be getting Mark back at some point for a predictions video. Not sure if that's for the finals or for a certain round or whatever. We had talked about that a while back. So we'll be back with a whole bunch of stuff, and me dreading to talk about Bucks Bulls, because I'm going to go ahead and give you all a little preview. I think we're dead.
Yeah, I think you are too. And that brings us to the end of this episode. Ladies and gentlemen, hope you've enjoyed. Please like, subscribe, comment, do it all. You know how this thing works. And let me just, before I forget, let me give a congratulations to Hyper on winning our March Madness bracket, the Allied Rivals March Madness bracket. We owe you a NBA or a basketball pack.
Yep.
I don't think Mark has NCAA basketball.
Yeah, they can't, because NCAA NIL deals and all that, it doesn't exist.
Yeah. No, it does.
It does? Well, Team Packs
it's a different brand. Yeah.
Is it?
But we'll get you an NBA pack, because that's still basketball, I guess.
Yeah, that's what we had said, was an
that's
NBA
what we
pack.
said. From the one and only Mark Scarchop. Go check it out.
But
once again, thank you.
I'm still heartbroken,
We'll
Carolina.
See you next time on the one and
sad.
only Allied Rivals podcast. See ya.
Peace.